Firstly, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy lives to come along and hear what we've got to say today. We really appreciate the fact, and we really appreciate the fact that it's an investment of your time. And I guess hearing about what we as NIB can do or are doing to earn the right to be your health partner of choice. So as I say, we really thank you for coming along today. Today marks an important milestone for NIB, or at least the 1st of July has, where we're essentially determining our future direction and advisor channels, engaging directly with you in market to earn the right, as I say, to be your health partner of choice. We've got a number of people from NIB here today, and I guess perhaps if they could stand up now, just anybody here that works for NIB. So be sure at the end of the session today to take them to one side, have a chat with them about NIB and what we can do for you. But there are three people that I'll introduce some of them as we go throughout the session, but I'll introduce three people at the very outset. I'm Chris Carnell, I'm Head of Advisor Distribution at NIB. We have with us speaking today Sarah Pope, who heads up our customer care teams, which includes our claims and our customer care people. And we've got Ross Walker here today who'll be presenting as well. Many of you will know Ross from days gone by. Ross is, oh, there you go. That's, I like. Many of you will know Ross from the fact that over the last 2.5 years he's been working closely with NIB, building out the presentations that we've taken through to advisor audiences over the last couple of years about the initiatives that we've been involved with. So he'll be speaking today. But without further ado, I'll introduce to you our CEO, Rob Hennin, who will open up today's proceedings. Rob.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the NIB Auckland Roadshow. My role here today is really just to set the scene for today, and the team will take you through what I hope will be a very informative session. But first of all, I just want to thank you for giving us this opportunity. I know your time is very valuable. It's an investment in us, and we just really, really appreciate that, and we hope that you will find the next hour or so incredibly valuable. Our vision for our members and for your clients is that they enjoy better health. And through our combined efforts, that's NIB, that's you as advisors, and through the many partners that we bring to bear to look after your clients, we just see that there is a huge opportunity to improve the health outcomes for your clients. We think that we do a couple of things. We think we're here to help your clients to make more informed health care decisions, to help them to interact with what is at times a very complicated healthcare system, and more in the future to live healthier lives by staying out of hospital. I've just been to a conference in Europe. In fact, I flew back on Saturday, so I'm finding it a little chilly at the moment. But I've just been to this conference. It's the International Federation of Health Funds. It's their biannual CEO conference. And I thought I'd just share a couple of things that I kind of learnt. I could talk probably for an hour about this, but the theme of the conference was digital innovation and data science improving healthcare outcomes. And I don't know whether you think that's an interesting title or not, but I learnt three things, and I just want to touch on them today, and hopefully sometime over the coming year we'll come back and just review them again together. But, you know, three things I learnt from this conference. The first thing is the exponential pace of change in healthcare. The second one was that innovation in healthcare is now transformative. And then the third one was that personalised and precision medicine is the future. And I'll just give you an illustration of each one of those. So the exponential pace of change in healthcare. Have you all heard of scurvy? So scurvy was quite bad. So if you went on an ocean voyage, and a number of you have probably been on cruises, 60% of the people on that cruise died before you got to your destination. So it took about 280 years from the time that the cure for scurvy was discovered, which was simply to give people a teaspoon of lemon juice every day, or some form of vitamin C. 280 years from when when scurvy, the cure for scurvy was discovered, and basically that disease was eradicated, 280 years. Now the FDA is approving new treatments for medical treatments and new pharmaceuticals within 3 months. And they believe that they'll get that down in the next 5 years to within 3 days. Why is that happening? The amount of medical data available to clinicians and data science people is doubling every 3 months. So the pace of change in healthcare is exponential. Innovation is now transformative in healthcare. Some of the new drugs coming onto the market or coming onto the market soon are absolutely life-changing and in some cases potentially curative. I just want to mention 2. There's a therapy for blindness called Spark therapy. It costs $500,000 per eye and it is almost curative. Now the reason I say almost is they don't know yet whether that lasts your whole lifetime or whether it's only 10 years or 5 years or whatever. But basically if you have this treatment, it is curative. But it's $500,000 per eye. Chimera, which is a cancer-treating drug, apparently is revolutionary. The first treatment is $800,000 and you need 4 more. They only give it to people who've got less than 2 years to live. But the 4 treatments are over each year. That's a pretty good deal if you think about it, if you've been given 2 years to live. The only problem is it costs you $3.2 million. So anyway, the innovation is absolutely transformative and it's our industry. This is the industry that we are part of. And then personalization, precision medicine, it really is the future. Now, while with personalized medicine comes some confronting ethical issues, for example, privacy and secrecy about our illnesses perhaps going away, the treatments and the drugs that are coming down the pike are unique to you. The new medical procedures that are being developed are unique to you. And the treatment is being controlled in the future by the patient and not the doctor. That is such a change. It is such a radical change. It's almost hard to fathom. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that much today, but we are going to come back in future roadshows and talk about some of these things. The exponential pace of change in healthcare, it's really exciting. Innovation is driving this change, and at the end of the day, it's coming down to treating the individual and not the masses. We think that is a very exciting future for healthcare. At NIB, we believe that the future, what our role is to help our members do 3 things: to protect them, to connect them, and to empower them. Our members need to be protected against the financial risk of the illnesses that they face. That's what we do today. That's what you do for your clients today, and that's what we do day in, day out. Chris, I think later on will share some figures about just how much we pay in claims. But at the end of the day, we help people live healthier lives today by protecting them financially. We're helping members get access, we're connecting them better to the healthcare system, helping them get access to the healthcare they need when and where they want it. And then more and more in the future, healthcare is about empowering our members, your clients, to make the decisions they want to make, to have the health outcomes that they want to have. We think that this is about personalising healthcare. We think that this is about personalising medicine. We think it's a vibrant and exciting industry to be part of, and we hope today you'll get just a little bit of a taste of some of the innovation coming down the pike. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you will come out of the next hour with sharing some of our excitement and passion about the future, and we're really looking forward to your continued partnership. Thank you for your support of us over the last 5 years. Thank you for investing this time with us today. I hope you'll find it really valuable, and I'll hand over to Chris, who will take you through the rest of the program. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. And these are indeed exciting times for us, for the industry, and hopefully for you in terms of your engagement with your clients around what we consider to be a very, very vital area of advice, that being helping your clients look after their health and well-being. It's an exciting time for us because we've changed our relationship with Fidelity so that we now are representing ourselves in market directly to you. And today's session is all about the sorts of initiatives that we're introducing with effect from 1 July, I guess, to have much better conversations with you around private health insurance and the sorts of things that we can do to earn the right, and we recognise that we need to do, to earn the right to be your trusted health partner. Health comes first as a thematic that you will see us talking about over the next wee while, the next few months. Because it sort of strikes, there are a number of points as to why we've adopted the health comes first communication. One is, health is important to everybody. We all care about our health. Everybody that you engage with will care about their health and well-being, and the sorts of things that we're involved with and that you're involved with when you're having those conversations with clients is therefore something that's of their primary concerns. So it's a great conversation point for your clients. Health comes first for some advisors. It's the primary engagement that you'll have with your client relationship. It'll be the introduction to your relationship with your clients. For some advisors, for other advisors, health is an afterthought. Sometimes for some advisors, it's not covered at all. What we're about is trying to help all advisors have what we like to call healthy client conversations. Conversations with your clients around looking after their health and well-being because of the importance that they see it in their lives as being. Health comes first in terms of the claim events. Often the first claim that your clients will have with you will be a health-related claim in terms of their health insurance policy. So very early on in your client relationship, you'll get an outcome where your client is seeing the value of the advice that you've given them. They'll see the value in terms of a real outcome that will make a change to the way that they progress and live healthier lives. So to me, that's pretty important, and that's another thematic around this health comes first. And finally, for NIB, health is all we do. We're a dedicated specialist health provider, so we do nothing other than work with you, work with your clients to get your clients much better and healthier outcomes so that they can enjoy their life, not only for the client themselves but for their wider family, because obviously if someone's health goes west, then it impacts on their whole family, not just the individual involved. So health comes first is a very important theme for us as we progress over the next wee while. And as you can see, as Rob had alluded to, we do make a difference. The advice that you give your clients in this area makes a difference. You know, we paid over 100,000 claims in the last 12 months. So the actual value of the advice that you've given your clients results in fantastic outcomes. $157 million that we've put into the communities as a result of the advice that you've given. And I think one of the challenges that we have is, in terms of the regulator focus on our industry right now, is that perhaps they've lost a little bit of sight of the very real value and the real benefit that you make to your communities through the advice that you give. And we're just proud to be a part of that advice. That's $500,000 in claims every single working day that we pay. And we're just one of many providers in market. So I think we should I think we should all give ourselves a clap. What do you think? That's pretty impressive, right? But the job is not finished and the job is not done. We do know that only 28.5% of New Zealanders have private health insurance, whether it be through their employer or whether it be through solutions that you've put in place in your conversations with clients. And the fascinating thing for me is I often talk to advisors about, well, tell me what percentage of your clients have private health insurance. And often advisors will tell me 5%, 10%. Whereas we know that 28.5% of your clients actually have these solutions in place. So I'd encourage you to have those conversations with all of your clients, because you'll then be able to be involved in the delivery of what is, as I say, a very important part of their personal risk management strategy. And the job is not done because we know that 64% of people in that age brackets where they have families are not insured. And we also know that, based on surveys, that people, 25% of people who haven't got private health insurance are open to having a conversation around considering whether to take it out or not. So there's a huge untapped opportunity for you to engage with your clients and with your client opportunities around the topic of private health insurance. So we've, as you know, when you came in, hands up who completed the survey when you came in. We all did, didn't we? Okay, well, if you didn't complete it on the way in, then you can complete it on the way out. But we do survey advisors regularly to find out what are the sorts of things that we need to be doing as a provider of health insurance to be your partner and health partner of choice. And essentially, we think it comes down to 6 key, what we call pillars. The 6 pillars that we think we need to excel at if we're going to earn the right to be your health partner of choice. The top 3 there, brand, product, and premiums, they're sort of like the sorts of things that your clients are looking for. And in terms of brand, NIB is kind of alone in some respects in terms of doing the advertising that we do to promote 2 things. One is the NIB brand, obviously, because when you're having conversations in market with your clients about private health insurance, it's important that they understand and can know that NIB is a trusted brand in this area. But more importantly, we do a lot of above-the-line advertising in terms of health so that we can communicate to the market at large the reasons why they should have private health insurance, so that when you do open a conversation with your clients around it, they're receptive to having that conversation with you. In terms of product, if you look at whether you use Iris, whether you use Strategy, whether you use QPR for your product rating information, you'll find that NIB products are always either at the very top or near the top of the product quality ratings. And we're pretty proud of that. And when we came to the New Zealand market, we decided that we did need to ensure that we had best-in-class product options for you so that when you do put an NIB solution in place, you can have the confidence that it is amongst the best available in market. And in fact, when we introduced the complimentary travel insurance in April last year, we did so for the very point that it enabled you to actually put in place an additional value delivery that we think your clients would appreciate as a part of that health insurance conversation. And look, if you look at the last 20 client engagements that you've had, and just think how many of those clients are actually clients that do travel offshore. And we think you'll find that there's quite a number of the clients or the people that you engage with are actually people that do take overseas trips, and hence the addition of the complimentary travel insurance under the Ultima Health range actually is a very real benefit for you and for your clients. In terms of premiums and price, obviously affordability is an issue. We need to ensure that we do whatever we can to manage the future affordability of private health insurance. And as you know, we introduced a couple of years ago now the First Choice Network, which was our attempt to ensure that health service providers are essentially don't continue to charge the excessive prices that some of them have charged for the delivery of health insurance outcomes for our communities. And in fact, it never ceases to amaze me. Fred Hollows can go up to the Pacific Islands and do cataract surgery for, I don't know how much it actually costs, but it's probably about $50. You try and get a cataract surgery done here anywhere in Auckland and you're facing a bill of $4,000. Now, I kind of don't get that. I don't understand why that is, but it is what it is. And obviously the First Choice Network, as I say, is our attempt to help manage the sustainability, if you like, of our private health system so that we get great outcomes for your clients in a way that's affordable for them. And the bottom 3 are pretty much, I guess, the areas of what are important to you as advisors, important to your business. We pride ourselves in the fact that we've got commercial terms which are at the top or near the top of market in terms of revenue opportunities for those conversations that you have with your clients. And whether you take the upfront model, the hybrid model, or the spread commercial model, the reason we make those models available is so that you do have options that suit your business and where you want your business to go, whether it needs upfront cash flows or whether it can actually have more spread models so that you can build asset values into your business a lot quicker. But again, choice is the name of the NIB game. And based on feedback, today's, I guess, in some respects to introduce to you the fact that from a relationships point of view, we've had a fantastic relationship with Fidelity over the last 5 years, but now it's time for us to determine our own future pathway in advisor channels. And so a focus on future relationships that you can have with us is a key part of the deliveries today. And of course, service is an area where we get bouquets and we get brickbats. And obviously, we want to excel in our service delivery to you. And today, we'll share a number of initiatives that we're doing to make that service piece world-leading in many respects. So, in terms of relationships, as of 1 July, we've introduced a team of advisor partner managers. And the role of advisor partner managers, you might know them as business development managers, but we intentionally use the word advisor partner manager rather than business development manager because, as I said up front, we want to earn the right to be your health partner of choice. So in our thinking, advisor partner manager as a term reflects that intention a lot better. And we've introduced a team of them throughout the country. And there they are up there. So starting with Mike Sweeney. Mike here is, he comes to us from 12 odd years in the industry, 6 with Keeper, or the national partnership before that, as their national sales manager. And then he had, I think, a year with Tower, when it was Tower Health and Life. And then prior to that, 6 years with the ACC in terms of working with advisors and accountants around the Cover Plus Extra delivery that ACC had. So, Mike, perhaps if you stand up and introduce yourself.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see so many familiar faces and some new faces as well. I've been lucky enough to be on a few of these roadshows, and I really believe in the team that's behind there as well. So I look forward to working with you all closely over the coming months. Thank you.
Second is Andrew Hurley. Andrew comes to us, and this isn't in order of priority. Oh, you did say that? Good, okay. Second is Andrew Hurley. Andrew's had 12 years with the NIB business in one shape or another, 6 years in the claims team. So I know that one of the things that advisors often need help with is understanding, things that are or aren't covered at claim time. So Andrew, perhaps if you stand up and just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Andrew Hurley, been with the team for 12 years. A lot of familiar faces in the room. Look forward to working with all of you to help NIB become your preferred health partner. Thanks very much.
And last, in terms of the Auckland advisor partner managers, but by no means least, Arishma Singh. Arishma comes to us from a dozen years in the industry, the last 5 or 6 of them in the very specialist area of underwriting. And again, in terms of advisors, often you are looking for some quality insights around the underwriting piece, so Arishma can certainly provide that. Arishma, perhaps if you stand up and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. So the new advisor team, we're all very diverse. We bring a diverse skill set and experience with the APMs and ARMs. So we really look forward to helping you deliver some of those solutions. Thank you.
And further south we have Stu Crother, who comes to us from OnePath. Stu's had 8 years, I think, as a business development manager for OnePath, so he has a great knowledge of the old OnePath Health delivery, because he was part of delivering that to market. And he's looking after Lower North Island and Upper South Island and a bit of Christchurch. And Steph Gower, who joins us from an advisor business in Alexandra, where she specialised in the delivery of medical and group medical as well. So as you can see, we put together a team of advisor partner managers which are able to come out, meet with you in your businesses, talk with you about, I guess, 3 key things that we want them to talk with you about. One is just the whole construct around having healthy client conversations, giving you the tools that you need to be able to have conversations with your clients confidently about the need for private health insurance, about some of the gaps that might exist in terms of the public provision, which I guess creates some of the need that people have for private health insurance. Secondly, we want our advisor partner managers to be able to articulate to you clearly the solutions that NIB has available to meet those client needs, so that again you can have confidence that the NIB solution is, as I say, amongst the best available for you to deliver to your clients. And thirdly, we want them to be able to talk with you about how giving advice in health to your clients can actually help you build sustainable long-term businesses of value. So we think that they're quite an exciting time for us in terms of having people that actually know health, understand health, live and breathe health, talking with you around how to incorporate that into your daily business activities. The advisor partner managers will be supported by our advisor relationship manager team. And our advisor relationship managers, we've had that function within our business for quite some time now because, of course, they supported the old Fidelity and IB business development management delivery. So the advisor relationship managers are there to provide support for our advisor partner managers and also to make it easy or ease the transition of doing new business for our key advisor partners. And all three of them are here today, so I'll introduce them individually. Varun George. Varun's been with NIB now for 5 years, a couple of years there in the customer care team, last 4 months in the advisor relationship manager team. So perhaps Varun, if you stand up and introduce yourself.
Hey all, really nice to put some faces to names of people I've been helping out over phones and emails. I look forward to working a lot closely with you and achieving some really good client outcomes. Thank you very much.
Carl Kraus, who has had 5 years also with NIB, again in the customer care team, and more lately, last couple of years, I think, Carl in the advisor relationship manager team. Perhaps Carl, you stand up and introduce yourself.
2 years in the advisor relationship management team. I've worked with many of you. You've made my job a pleasure. Thank you for that, and look forward to working with you in the future as well.
And of course, Carl, he has more brothers and sisters than anyone I ever know, because whenever he talks with advisors on the phone, it's always, hello brother, how are you? Hello sister, how are you? And it's quite infectious around our office to hear Carl engaging with advisors in that way. And of course, third, again, by no means least, Sam Goodby here. Sam's been with us for 3 years now. Sam has had, I think, about 18 months in the new policy processing teams with NIB, and then latterly the last 18 months with us in the advisor relationship manager team. So he brings that sort of knowledge of the new business process, which of course is key to us delivering to you as advisors. So Sam, perhaps stand up and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming. Good to put faces to names. It's been a real pleasure working with so many of you over the past couple of years, and I hope we can build that and build relationships going forward. Thanks.
So hopefully that demonstrates some of the commitment and investment that we're making to have much better engagement with you as advisors, our partners in the health insurance space. We have in the packs, there's a key contacts list. One of the things that we find when advisors do experience some frustrations in terms of dealing with us over the phone is sometimes they're calling the wrong numbers. Also just the options that are now available to engage with us through digital means such as NIB Advisor Access. But essentially that key contact list is in your pack so that you could perhaps have it on the wall in your office so that any time that you need to contact NIB, you can actually contact us in the right way, and you'll get hopefully a very good response. And Sarah's going to cover what we're doing in that space in her session just shortly. But also the NIB leadership team. Unfortunately, Nick Dorwood can't be with us today. She's over holidaying in Sri Lanka. Nick heads up our overall, well, it's called the member engagement team, I guess you could say, but nowadays we used to call it operations. Essentially all of our customer care, claims, underwriting, new business processing, everything that we do from an operational perspective, Nick looks after. And of course Rob, who's already spoken, we make no secret of our mobile phone numbers. We want you to contact us if you have any challenges or issues with NIB, because we absolutely want to be available and accessible to you. So at any time you feel the need, give us a call, if only to talk about health. We love talking about health. And then we also have a group health team. And I think we've got Andrea Fafida and Eden. Is Eden here still as well? No, just Andrea here today. But we've got a fully freighted team of people that are involved in the group health delivery for NIB. When I joined NIB back in 2015, we had, I guess, about 1.5 people dedicated to the group health space. Now we've got a fully freighted team so that there are people in our business that can help you have those conversations with your employer clients around private health insurance for their employees. And I think if you look at it these days, the legislative environment that employers operate under now, health and well-being of employees is of utmost importance to them. And so conversations around providing health insurance, group health insurance, as a way to discharge their obligations to ensure the health and well-being of their people is an easy conversation to have. But for some advisors, they find the topic a little bit more complex, in which case that's where the Andrea and the health account manager team can actually help you have those conversations with your employer clients. and we encourage you to do that. I'm going to hand over now to Sarah, who'll take us through some of the really exciting stuff that we're doing in order to deliver memorable service outcomes to you as our advisor partners. So over to you, Sarah.
Thank you. Hi everyone. So I'm really excited to be here today to talk to all of you. So my name is Sarah Pope and I'm the Manager of Customer Care. So all of the contact centre, email and claims functions are coming through my area, and I'm part of membership engagement. I'm quite new to the team compared to a lot of the other people here. I've only been with NIB for 7 months. And when I was doing my due diligence to, should I take this job? What's this company all about? And I spoke to both Rob Hennon and Nick Dorwood, and I asked them, what's your purpose? What's your personal purpose? What gets you up in the morning to come to work at NIB? And they both spoke really passionately about making NIB in the short term and in the long term, not just a health insurer, but a health partner. And that had me really excited. We don't just want to be the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff. We want to be the fence at the top of the mountain. We want to be able to try and keep New Zealanders healthy so they avoid surgery. And if they do have to have surgery, well, we want to be there to help them through that process. So I was pretty excited about that proposition, and I took the job. Obviously, I'm here. And a couple months later, I heard this story, which absolutely underlined that I'd made the right decision. So one of our bigger groups we worked with, and on the celebration of the Treaty of Waitangi Day, we had a stand there. And we had a whole lot of trucks there, diagnostic trucks, where people could go and do some health screening. Now, a couple of our members had a look and went, oh, I could have a mammogram, I could get my breast checked. It's a bit strange for this day, but they went away and they did it. Now, unfortunately, one of these members, they did actually find something in this mammogram. And further tests did show that actually, unfortunately, this member did have breast cancer. Now, what we were then able to do was work with her, work with the specialist, get the surgery done, get the treatment completed, hold her hand through this process. And now she is on on her way to recovery. Now, obviously quite a horrific sort of scenario which came out of that, but we were so glad that we encouraged her to have this testing and absolutely changed that life and made sure that she is now back into better health. So I'm really pleased to be part of the team. Now, membership experience, we are all about making sure that you and your clients get bloody good service. We know that to attract you and your clients and to retain you, we absolutely have to deliver on our promises. And so what we've been doing, and our customer experience team has been in place for the last year, and we've got some of them here in the audience. And what we've done is we've tried to really hone into the member journey from join, welcome, use, pay, all the way through. Now, every initiative that the customer experience team looks at is we follow along this journey. We figure out whereabouts it is in the journey, and we really take an outside-in approach. We take the feedback from you, the advisors, we take the feedback from our members, and we marry it up and we make sure that we're ticking off all of these boxes. And I'll talk about the surveys a little bit later, but we can actually survey every single step of the way, so we know when we do an initiative, we can see what's working and what's not. So it's really exciting. And we've aligned our teams to it as well. Now, before I go to the next slide, so my area, customer care, pretty busy. How many interactions do you think we have each day with our members? Anyone? How many? 2,000. 2,000, you get the prize, spot on. 2,000, so every day we get over 700 calls. On a Monday, we can get over 1,200 calls. We get 600 emails that we deal with. We deal with 21 underwriting registrations. We do multiple changes. So it's pretty busy. In May, we had the most claims lodged ever in the history of NIB. So it's pretty busy, and we try and work through these as quickly as possible. Now, what we do encourage is if your members use our app and our website to lodge claims, well, then they can get our claims robot can process up to 30% of our simple medical claims in no time at all. Within 1 to 2 working days, members can get their claims paid and into the bank account. And that means that our people can spend more time working on the more complex ones. So I really do encourage you, and we can have a chat with you, we can show it to you. The app and the website are just a really easy thing to use and encourage your members to use. Now that of course means that we try and keep our costs down, we try and keep claims inflation down, and we try and keep your premiums for your members at a good price. Now, another thing, another reason why I joined NIB was all about the values. And status quo's death is one of our values, which is all about making sure that we are constantly innovating, constantly improving, making sure we're giving great service. So we have a combination of different initiatives that we work through. So we have quick wins, so always looking out for the quick wins. One example of that is recently, I was getting a lot of feedback, like our pre-approval process was just taking too long, and it was getting tight and stressful for people with surgery coming up. So we've upped the triage process for claims that come in where the surgery is within 5 working days, and that's really working. I've definitely seen a reduction in complaints in that area. We have our medium goals, and one of those big ones is just the capability of our people. So I have a large amount of my claims team who are doing our medical terminology course, so that they're going to be able to lift their capability and knowledge when your members and yourselves call. We have a themed month. Every month we're focusing on a different theme to, again, increase our knowledge and capability. We've done eyes, we've done ears, we're doing joints July this month. So that's really great, and I'm absolutely passionate about keeping my people upskilled and increasing their capability. The third thing is like our more long-term goals. So I'm really excited that the board has signed off that we're working on replacing our new policy admin system. So again, that's going to take a couple of years as these things do, but it just means that our digital enhancements will be much better in the coming wee while. So that's really, really exciting. So to delve into some of these initiatives into a little bit more detail, what have we been doing for you, the advisors? So in the last 12 months, we've enabled you to do self-serve through the advisor website. Who signed up? Who goes through the advisor website? A few of you, a few hands. So there's quite a lot of stuff that you can do there. I'll be talking about something a little bit later on, which will mean you definitely want to get signed up, and all these front row here will be able to help you work through that. We've also started this regular survey. So every 6 months we're going out to you to try and understand what's working and what's not. And again, you'll be able to do that survey. The good, the bad, the ugly, if we don't know about it, we can't work on it. So please, please put that feedback through. In the next 6 months, we're redesigning our website to be able to really advocate for advice-led channels. We've also redesigned our onboarding process for new advisors. So if you're new to the business or you've got new team members, we'll be able to take you through a better induction so that you're feeling really confident and comfortable selling our products. And we've got our new advisor partner managers who are just itching to get out and see you all. And we'll have our new Join Journey, NIB Apply, going live in August, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that soon. So, what have we done for your clients, our members? Done lots of stuff, and it's been great to be on that journey. In the last 12 months, we've extended our opening hours till 7 p.m. p.m. at night. So Monday to Friday, we're open 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturdays, we're also open 9 till 1. So my team is there waiting for your calls to come through. Our advisor, our specific 0800 number for advisors is also manned during that time. Heaven forbid you have to work in the evenings or on a Saturday, but you can still get through to our team. We've increased our claims process by our claims robot. So again, the more claims being put through on those digital channels, the quicker they'll go through. We've gotten up to 30% of our claims going through that process. So it means that my team can really work on the complex ones. We've enabled members to make credit card changes on our website. So again, no queues, they just log on online and make those changes. And we've redesigned all of our arrears letters. Again, taking on the feedback from our members, they were kind of confusing. So we've updated those letters. We've been able to survey that particular part of the journey and we've increased by 16 points. So we really know that that's working. And the team is working hard at looking at all of our documentation by the end of this calendar year. And we've introduced 2 new wellness coaches into the team who are there to deliver health interventions, which is really exciting. So what are we going to do in the next 6 months? We're going to try and do more case management of more complex claims. So if there is, if unfortunately a member has cancer or some other complex needs, then we want to be there to sort of hold their hand and talk them through that process. We're expanding our First Choice network so as to positively help claims inflation. What that also means is that all of our health partners in that First Choice network, they can put the claims and the pre-approvals in for your members. So it's a completely claims-free experience for you. So that's really exciting, and again, that goes through our digital process, which can be really quick. We've also expanded our lifecycle management team to ensure your clients will stay with us for longer. So some really great initiatives happening in that area too. And we've got this cool partnership with Zoom Pharmacy. Has anyone heard of them? Few of you? Yeah. So Zoom Pharmacy is being set up, and they're really trying to help keep New Zealanders healthy because they will deliver prescriptions all throughout the country. Now, how many New Zealanders do you think don't pick up their prescriptions? They go to the doctor and then they never get their medication. Any guesses? Pardon? 1 in 4 New Zealanders don't pick up their prescription. So 25% are not getting their medication that they should have to keep them healthy, or maybe they're not getting their repeats. I know I've missed a repeat or 2 when I've been busy at work. So Zoom Pharmacy is all about getting this delivered to your door. And also, apparently 50% of us taking the medication are doing it wrong. So there's videos, there's guidelines on how to get that sorted. So that's a really exciting partnership who you'll be seeing more of NIB being linked with them. So that's really cool. So the next thing we've done, I talked about our wellness coaches. So this is our population health team. And as I said, this is all about that fence at the top of the cliff. So we've got doctors, we've got nurses, we've got dietitians, and this team is just completely focused on trying to keep New Zealanders healthy. They're running a bunch of different programs as trials. There's sort of Healthy Weight for Life, there's Healthy Joints, there's a number of different programs that they're working on. And if they succeed, and then we hope to scale them up. So that's really exciting. They also do that case management, that holding our members' hands through that private and public hospitals. And then we have some digital mental health programs as well. So this is really about going the extra mile with this team. I sit next to them, I hear the conversations they have with members. It's just absolutely delightful. So looking forward to seeing more from them. I talked about surveys. So NPS, who knows what that stands for? Net Promoter Score, great. And so, thank you. So NPS, Net Promoter Score, it's a measurement that a lot of companies use out there. And it's all about that question, would you recommend NIB to friends and family? You've probably answered that question by another insert company name here. But it's all about advocates. Are you willing to be at the barbecue and go, yeah, I love NIB, they're great? Or are you a detractor and it's going the other way? For us, obviously, we want the advocates. And with the NPS, we've really increased the way that we measure and the way that we survey our customers' feedback. And like I said, we can pinpoint it in different parts of the journey so we can be really clear on what's working and what's not working. Over the last 12 months, we've seen an 88% increase in member NPS. So we're really, really excited. And, you know, I just want to be here in a year's time and show that graph continuing to go up with all the different things that we're wanting to do. And we try to make it really visual. So in customer care, we've got the big TVs, we can see the queues, and we can see the NPS. It's right in front of us, and we can see all the different comments that are coming through. And our customer experience team spend a lot of time going through it all and coming up and working with me and the team for different initiatives. And we're surveying you. So unfortunately, only 11% of advisors came back to us last time. So we're really wanting to see an increase in that because we want to help you out and we need your feedback. And we know that we've got a bit to go. We got 5% NPS from our last advisor survey. So we're wanting to work with you to really increase that. So always keen to get your feedback. And come in. Always there's an open invitation to come in and meet the team, have a look at the setup, and yeah, come and meet us all in person. So one piece of feedback that we have had is that the join journey has been a little bit painful. So I'm really, really, really excited to be here to tell you about our next big initiative, and that is called NIB Apply. How long does it take sometimes to get an application through? From doing a quote to getting it all signed, sealed and delivered? 10 days, a month? Yeah, quite long. So up to 42 days sometimes quicker, sometimes a bit longer. But we know that that's too long when you're trying to get those sales through. So we know that the paperwork can be back and forth and a little bit confusing and missing information. So we've really, really tried to take all of this feedback and put it into this new program. Now there is a first step that you guys need to take, and that is registering to the advisor access. There was a few hands that said they had it, but we're really wanting all of you guys with the access to that. And you can get your client reports and information, you can get your agency and commission reports, and we'll change those permissions depending on your agency and what you should and shouldn't see. So that's the first step. Then once you have that, then we'll be able to move towards getting you all access to the NIB Apply.
Our health is our greatest asset. When your clients make the important decision to protect against the financial risk of disease, sickness and injury, then getting that cover in place as quickly as possible is really important. It's a big decision after all. It can be pretty disappointing for them and for you, their trusted advisor, when it takes so long for that cover to be implemented. So the team here at NIB have been working hard to fix that problem, to ensure that getting health cover in place is fun, fast and easy. Check out what they've come up with.
We're really excited to be launching our new electronic application form called NIB Apply. We've been really innovative with the design of the application form.
Innovation is crucial for our success as an industry.
It is one of our key values, and it informs the way that we work with you, your clients and our members.
So we've brought in a full range of capabilities on this project, pushed the solution into the cloud. We've engaged the business and the external advisors to provide feedback on the solution, so we hope that we can deliver something that meets everyone's needs and is cutting-edge technology.
So we've pushed boundaries and we've made it very interactive, so we've got health icons that represent the underwriting categories, and they'll ask a subset of questions, and so that's going to be really easy for our members and advisors like yourselves to use.
NIB Apply will significantly reduce the time it takes for you to complete a client health application. When it is fully in place, we expect that 80% of applications will result in cover being signed, sealed and delivered on the spot.
Our main focus on the application form is on the advisor needs.
We've adopted an outside-in approach to incorporate feedback from advisors and clients.
So what we did is we had a series of workshops with advisors. So we got the needs, pain points and got the requirements from our advisors to make it the best possible experience for you.
This workshop has been brilliant. It has actually come up with a lot of positive, negative things. I think the biggest advantage that NIB is going to get out of it is they will create something solid which is going to help all the advisors in the market, and it's going to be very user-friendly.
So we really hope you use the application form. It's going to be having interactive icons, so it's easy to use, understand for both our members and advisors, and we really look forward to using it.
So I encourage you to register for NIB Advisor Access and use NIB Apply for all your future client health applications. And remember, health comes first.
It looks pretty cool, huh? So there's a big team that's been involved, a lot of advisors coming in and giving us their feedback, and it won't stop there. So we'll be really, really excited to hear what you think of it. We kind of think of it the difference between flicking through a medical dictionary to playing a game of Operation. We actually think it might even be quite fun to do this with your members. So there is a little bit of a phased approach with the rollout. So with all good things, it does take a bit of time. So at the moment, you've got quite a lot of documents and forms that you need to fill out. So the first phase, you will continue to keep doing your quotes as you normally would, and then you'll be able to apply online using our cool new interactive experience. You will still have to wait the next business day to have the policy docs emailed out, payment taken and campaigns applied, but it's going to be a massive improvement. By the end of the year, we hope to have the whole process in NIB Apply. So 80% straight through. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be market leading. So by the end of the year, you're going to be able to do all of these things. You're going to be able to look at your NIB pipeline. You're going to be able to quote your different products. You're going to be able to apply the different campaign codes, save and send, and take all your payments. It's going to be really, really cool. So watch the space. It's all coming out. So yeah, well look, I'm really, really excited. It was great to be able to talk to all of you. Come and have a chat with me afterwards. Grab a business card. I'd love to meet some of you in person. So thank you.
Isn't it exciting? Isn't it exciting? I think, you know, you immediately get a sense of the energy that NIB is on the move, and that you're part of that journey, that you're part of this challenging but exciting future that we all can be part of. The changes that are taking place that we are implementing, NIB is implementing, are mirrored, if you like, by the changes that are taking place in terms of health treatment and in terms of things like personalised healthcare. When you start to think about that, you can also start to connect some dots. You can start to appreciate why it's so important that we use digitalisation to take care of the routine, the mundane, the day-to-day stuff, which doesn't really require decision-making by human beings and judgment and all those sorts of things. We need to get the people who have got those increased skills that which we're enhancing into the areas where really they make a difference, where they're actually making decisions which require judgment, which are complex, so things like those complex claims. So you can start to see, we want to do that with your clients, and we want to do it with you, and that's partly why we've introduced NIB Advisor Access over a year ago, and why we're continuing to build out from that. It's a bit disappointing, frankly, to see how few of you are using it, and I know from the questions that have come up around the rest of the country, they wouldn't come up in Auckland, I know. But you know, does it do this? Does it do that? And the answer to those questions is often yes, and I think it's a bit like the survey that we've just passed out, excuse me. The survey we just passed out, I noticed sort of some of you were sort of looking at it with a bit of fear and trepidation. But once you've actually done it, I could sort of the relief break out. I see over your face that, you know, you suddenly realised that you were part of the modern day, that in fact there was a place for you in the future. And you don't have to worry about your grandchildren's feedback any longer, because, you know, you've demonstrated you're a technological whiz kid now. So, you know, be part of this journey with us. You realise you are going to have to make a bit of an effort, but hey, look, it's just part of life. We don't really want to go back to the times, you know, when there weren't ATM machines, where there wasn't internet banking. I just was commenting to the other day that I can remember so far back, and my grandkids always take the fun and mickey out of me when I say this, I can remember the days when both telephones and cars had crank handles on them, both of them. And there was a thing a bit like Facebook today, which many of you won't believe, but Facebook really existed back in the past. It was called a party line, and you could listen into the other neighbours' conversations at the same time. So, you know, I think we've just come full circle in some respects, and there's a lot of exciting things that are coming over the line. Be part of it with us, please. It's great. So one of the things that we're going to be doing is we're actually not saying goodbye to the past entirely. And that's good for those of you who want to have a bit more time to keep up, to catch up and get moving. So one of the things that is great is that the Fidelity's e-app, which I'm sure you're familiar with some of you, is going to continue post 1 July. It's still there today because we've actually said, okay, some of you are using it already, it's familiar to you, you want to carry on with that. I know that when you get to NIB Apply, you'll actually want to use that because it's so much more fun. Actually, your clients will feel that they're part of it rather than being subjected to it. Now, I know, and I know some of you in the room will remember when the Fidelity e-app was launched. And to be perfectly honest, it was very innovative. It did lots of really smart things, but it is actually a bit like a form that's just stuck onto a computer screen. You know, well, we've got something that's even better than that with NIB Apply. Something that even people like Roy Norris and Peter Menser can use. And I know that'll be startling to some of you. We've also got, coming along, the paper application forms, which will continue. So they're familiar to you, I know. And if you like to still continue to write, if you like to write Fidelity Health risk cover, life cover that is, and alongside NIB Health Cover, you can use the combined health and life application, which we've had for the last 5 years, because it means your clients won't have to answer the same questions, and in other words, duplicate them from one application to the other. So that efficiency still remains, and that's part of what we're focusing on, ensuring that you can focus on your time and effort and your client's interest on the things that are actually important rather than duplicating information. So that carries on. That's good news as well. Now, another good bit of good news is we've thought about that and thought, how can we expand that further? And we've introduced something which we're calling the Supplementary Information Form. It's designed for the situations where you are writing health and life cover together, so as for Fidelity, but perhaps it's not with Fidelity. I'm going to use Astron as an example. So your client, through your needs assessment and your statement of advice, has recognised that they need health and risk cover, and you've completed, say, the Astron risk application form. Well, when you get to the NIB health application form, you'll find that there are some things that we do have to take down, and we do have to have things like signatures at the moment, and they have to have the declarations. So we can't get entirely away from it. But when they get to some sections, you'll find there's a lot of similarity, if not exactly the same, questions in the health application as the life application. So we've said, well, where can we cut out the duplication? And that's what we've done. So if, for example, you're doing this with Astron Astron Life, what you do is when you get to the NIB health application form, you get to the section 3, which is the declarations. And you do this, it's like a tick boxes, you do it for each life assured. Now for the lives that have got risk cover, then you don't need to do that anymore. You put a line down through that and you pick out the supplementary information form. And that's really simple. It just looks the same, but a reduced question set, and that refers you back to the health application form to the particular questions you've got to answer. It's a reduced set though, so you're not duplicating information from A to B. And if once you come to complete all the forms, then you simply bundle a whole lot up. That's your initial premium illustration, your health application, your Astron risk application, and of course the supplementary application form. Scan the whole lot or snail mail them to us and we'll process them. The Astron health application, in other words, the Astron risk application, in other words, is part of your health application, and the information contained in it will be used as part of the health application. Simple, easy peasy. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, hold on, does that mean I've got to have one of these for Astron, one, say, for Sovereign, one for Partners, and so on? Well, the answer would be yes in practical terms, because each company's health questions are a bit different from the other. But in practical terms, I know that most of you only use one or two risk applications 90% of the time anyway. Sorry, one or two risk providers. So you only probably need to keep their supplementary information forms in your back pocket, if you like, for those occasions. And you'll be able to access those forms through NIB Advisor Access. That's another reason why you want to make sure you've registered on NIB Advisor Access. So as well as doing that, we've also thought about your illustrations, or your quotes if you prefer that language. For those of you who use NIB Illustrator, that continues on. Of course, come the late part of the year, towards December, we'll be combining the illustration, or the premium quoting part, if you prefer that language, as part of a seamless quote, apply, offer of terms and issue process. So a seamless process right through. But to begin with, that won't be there, so you'll be quoting separately and then doing your NIB apply application. We're also continuing with the Fidelity Apollo illustration software, so both the web and the desktop versions of that continue on as before, and that's good news for those of you who use those and don't want to have a change of habit. We've thought of that. But we've also been doing some great stuff with QPR, and I have to say I think QPR have been doing a fantastic job here. Who uses QPR or Quote Monster, by the way? Just give me a show of hands. Okay, so look, I'll just make it absolutely clear. They're not paying us to say this, and also I know some of you use other premium comparison software, so I'm not saying you should have to change, but I'm just wanting to talk about some great features coming through from QPR. So the one that I think is particularly exciting is a change that's taking place. Well, there's two changes. The first one is that in the past, you haven't been able to use a Quote Monster quote to put alongside your health application. So you know you have to have a quote or an illustration when you send this in. Now, why would you want to have to do a premium comparison in QPR or Quote Monster and then do another one in Illustration or Apollo to accompany your application? It's just doing the same thing twice. The problem is that there hasn't been the declarations in the Quote Monster quotes. So QPR, Quote Monster are including those declarations going forward, and you'll be able to use the Quote Monster quote to go with your application. So you don't have to duplicate this work, which is good news, because doing the same thing over and over to get the same result isn't really good use of time. So it's just another way we make things better for you. And I have to say, we're not taking all the credit for that, because obviously QPR have done a great job there. They've also done something exciting as well, which we think is great, and we can take no credit for this other than that we've got the good fortune to be able to bring you their good news. The situation's this. I mentioned a little earlier on that you're perhaps quoting risk cover, life cover, and health cover. Now, you know through the Fidelity relationship between Fidelity and NIB that Fidelity and NIB have been paired up in QPR or Quote Monster up till now, and that's continuing. But perhaps what you didn't know is if you were, say, quoting Astron, you can now pair up NIB with Astron in this QPR quote or Quote Monster quote. And also, excitingly, is if you take, say, Partners Life, you know Partners Life, that company that has risk cover and health cover, well, you can uncouple the Partners Life health cover and put NIB health cover in its place. So that's quite convenient, okay? I'm not saying that means that Partners Life will pay you commission, by the way, or underwrite the cover. I'm just saying for the purposes of doing this quotation or this illustration, you can now combine up anybody you want. So I thought that's something that you really need to know about, because it actually makes your life a lot easier. So what better way to find out about it is to actually see how it's done. And it's so simple, you'll be racing back to your office to do this just as soon as you can.
Hello advisors, here are instructions to combine NIB health cover with the risk cover from any risk provider you want to recommend using Quote Monster. In Quote Monster, click on Settings to open the Quote Settings screen. A list of providers appears on the left of the table with the default health cover immediately alongside under the heading Health. For example, Astron Life do not have their own health cover. In this example, to combine NIB Ultimate Health Max base cover with Astron Life, Click on Select. A selection panel will appear, and now select the radio button next to NIB. In the drop-down window, for product, select Ultimate Health Max Base Cover and click Save. Repeat the process to combine Ultimate Health Max Base Cover with AIA. Click back to confirm the new settings. Your next quote and future quotes will have NIB Ultimate Health Max paired up with Astron Life and AIA. Click Get Crunching to begin a new quote. Continue completing the client details and benefit details pages as you would normally for a new customer. Click Crunch to receive a result on the life and health cover combinations of NIB with Astron Life and with AIA, and for other providers including NIB with Fidelity Life. The breakdown of the premiums will be shown in the graphs and reports when you click Next. Now you are ready. Thank you and happy quoting.
Now, isn't that good? It's just as simple as that. You can do that just yourselves. But if you feel it's complicated, we have got the team here that are going to make it really easy for you, because there's other things that QPR, Quote Monster, have done which aren't in that video that you'll want to find out about it as well. So don't stop there. There's more to come. These guys are the guys with the story. It's exciting times. We're on the path of change. We're on the path of making life simpler and easier for everybody. We're also doing a few other things in that theme of making life easier and simpler. We're aware that if you're a new advisor, or if you're not a new advisor even, it's important that you have all the kit that you need so that when you're talking to a client, you've got the bits and pieces that you need right at your fingertips to get out there and actually do the job. Okay, now there's obviously several steps in your meeting, but what could be worse than arriving at a meeting and suddenly finding you haven't got the application form that you need, perhaps, or a brochure or whatever it happens to be. So for new advisors and for you guys yourselves all here, we've produced this kit. It's nice and handy. It's got a handle. You can put it down the side of in the seat pocket of your car, and it's all good and handy, or you can keep it beside your desk. It's got everything you could possibly need, and I'm sure. One of the really good things in it is, for those of you who are still using paper application forms, there is a serious risk that many of you probably are aware of called paper cuts. And paper cuts can be extremely painful, so we've included some Band-Aids in that kit. So, you know, we are trying to think of everything so that you do not get delayed from recommending and signing up clients on NIB Health Cover. It's part of our personalised healthcare plan for you as a Band-Aid. We're also doing a few other things as well. That kit is part of it. You can order those online from Blue Star, of course. If you need some extra ones today to take out the door with you, we've got some more at the back of the room. So don't go away empty-handed, please. There's more to come, and you can take them with you. And of course, the APMs are happy to bring those along with you when they're meeting with you. We've got a couple of other things as well, but one that I want to talk about is our business replacement advice form. It's part of our way of supporting you and making sure that there's clear evidence that when health cover is being replaced, that the gains and losses of that replacement recommendation are well documented. If it's necessary when you're completing an application where the existing health cover, whether it's from NIB's health cover or a competitor's health cover, is being replaced with new NIB health cover. Okay, and it's simply a part of that process of ensuring that you're well documented and have got evidence of why you've made those recommendations. I'm sure many of you will be familiar with it. At the moment, there's a copy of this form in your kit. It's a standalone form, but in due course, when we reprint the application forms, it's just going to be a couple more pages stuck in the application forms, which you'll complete as and when required, of course. So no great drama around that. And finally, just for me, one of the things we're doing all the time is trying to find ways to promote those healthy client conversations. It's not just words from us. We're actually trying to provide you with the resources to make it a reality. One thing we do notice is that at different times of the year and at different circumstances, people have different things top of mind. At this time of year, often people are concerned about the reliability of their motor vehicles. You know, because of the weather, they start to think, wouldn't want to be stuck out in this rain or in this cold weather with my car, you know, stuck at the side of the road with a breakdown or whatever. Perhaps the tyres aren't safe as they should be. So this current campaign is offering 30 $500 Motor Trade Association vouchers. And to be in the draw for that, your clients need to have completed an application by the end of August. So it's a great way that you can talk about the safety of their car and their body and their maintenance of their car, but what about their physical body as well? Are they looking after themselves for the same sorts of reasons? So thematic linkage is part of what we're doing. It's a great thing you can send out to new or to current clients who might have got family members or friends who are not insured, but it's also something you can use perhaps to tip the balance with a prospective new client. So I'm going to pass back to Chris just to say, hey, it's been great seeing you all, and thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to our story, and there'll be more chapters in it to come, more exciting news, I'm sure.
Thank you, Ross. And thank you everyone for coming along today. You've demonstrated a commitment to NIB by being here, by taking your valuable time to hear what we have to say. Hopefully over the last hour or so you've heard the commitment that we make to you in the key areas that are important to you and your clients, so that we can earn the right to be your trusted health partner of choice. Some of you, hopefully all of you, will have had a chance to complete the survey form that was on the seat. If you haven't done it today, here at the session, then by all means do it back in the office. But do take the chance. We've got a number of people from NIB here, so do take the chance to have a conversation with them before you leave today about anything that you want to engage with them around in terms of the things that we're doing. So yes, thanks so much for coming along today. Safe drive home, and we'll look forward for our advisor partner managers to get out and market to have those conversations with you. Cheers.